5's Jay Brandow is in Clare County right now, and he joins us live for more on this developing story. Jay, what can you tell us?
Well, good evening, Sam. What's going on right now is the water is being watched. What happened, as you had mentioned, the farmer tried to blow away a beaver dam. Easy for me to say. We've been out here all day working. The Jupiter was still in flames as the morning sun rose over Bay City. Through the fog, it was evident the twisted ship was still intact. Luckily, the state-of-the-art double-hulled tanker did not spill her cargo of gasoline into the water.
Yeah, she did her work. She's double-hulled and double-bottomed, and she's a relatively modern tanker built in 1976, and she really held up well.
A special firefighting team brought in from Texas began the second round of their battle to snuff the flames, pumping thousands of gallons of foam on the still-burning tanker. Several hours after the flames were doused, special emergency crews used sledgehammers below deck to knock carbon off the wall of the ship's hold and smother it in foam to reduce the threat of a rekindle. Authorities say the hot carbon was probably the cause of last night's reignition. Local leaders have had concerns about a possible situation like the Jupiter before.
You know, there's always been a continuing concern about this sort of situation. Bay County's responsibility is basically through the Emergency Services Division. As far as firefighting equipment and so forth, I doubt if the county itself would be responsible for obtaining that, because it'd be a more appropriate through the various fire departments, the local fire departments, rather than the county itself.
The immediate emergency is over. Crews continue to pour foam over the hulk of the Jupiter. Once the ship cools, authorities will be better able to determine if what's left of the vessel can be towed to dry dock in either Ohio or Wisconsin. But the heat has taken its toll on the Jupiter, and some officials believe she may have to be salvaged where she lies, for fear she could break up in rough water. That decision could still be days away.
And before I got out of the car, I said the whole Winona Hotel is on fire, the 2 upper stories. And I said, get every policeman, every fireman, and every ambulance you can get down here as soon as you can get them.
Retired police officer Dick Gagne was the first one on the scene. Gagne says he had to make some tough decisions as those trapped on upper floors screamed for help.
Women were up on the upper floor, on the 4th floor up there, 3rd floor, and hollering out the windows, catch my kid, catch my kid. Well, you couldn't do that high up, because they'd probably kill you and them too if you tried to catch them. So I went across the street, so they couldn't throw their kids to me, because I could hear the fire trucks coming. And I said, the firemen are going to be here in about a minute, and we're going to get ladders up there, and we're going to get you all out. So just take it easy and don't panic. I came around the corner, and just then a woman had jumped out of the 4th story and schmucked on the pavement in front of me, the sidewalk.
A number of mementos from the hotel are now in the hands of collectors. Everything from luggage tags to postcards sent out by guests to ashtrays from the hotel's gift shop. And inside City Hall, a mosaic of Princess Winona stands as a memorial to one of the city's worst fires. Officer Gagne and one of his partners were inside the burning hotel to make sure everyone was out.
We got about halfway through the building, and I said to Randy Sierras, he was one of the other officers, and I said, Randy, we may not get out of here alive. And I says, well, too late to worry about it now. We just kept going. And when we got out into the main lobby, this was the first thing I seen down on the floor, and I was really glad to see that, because I knew we were back out to safety.
A total of 10 people lost their lives in a fire investigators say was started by a faulty light socket. Jay Brandow, News 5, Bay City. The old Lufkin factory went up in flames in April of 1994, destroying a laundry service that had been using space inside. Today, what's left is in shambles, often used by children as a playground, and neighbors say there have been people living there from time to time. Many believe it's another accident waiting to happen, but to add to the problem, it's become a dumping ground. But city leaders say the future offers promise.
We could easily divide that up into about 3 or 4 sites of about 4 acres each, and market them to different industrial users. All the utilities are in, so that makes it an attractive site. It'll be cleaned up, and with the substantial tax break that comes with the Renaissance Zone, we hope to attract some interest to it.
As you can tell, the site is being used as a dump, And the neighborhood kids are playing here. There's asbestos and other materials that are hazardous. The city of Saginaw says it would like to see this property cleared and ready for redevelopment in a year's time. Jay Brandow, News 5, Saginaw. The year is 1929, and the light-colored skyscraper you see at the top center of your screen is the Second National Bank building at Washington and Genesee Streets. Today, the building is still in use as a bank and still stands sentry over the city. The building is also home to the last original manually operated elevator in the area. Today, it had its last run. Eva Stockford was in the elevator business for more than 20 years.
You ran the elevator for 20 years. You overheard a lot of conversations from a lot of people.
You never discuss what you hear on the elevator, never.
Eva, there's got to be some good dirt you can give me.
No. No dirt. There are a lot of things, different things that happened, but like I say, we were told never to discuss what was told on, what we heard on the elevator.
How about just a hint of maybe something that went on?
No.
Hank Westmer met Eva, the elevator operator, when he started working in the maintenance department 15 years ago.
I miss the girls. Miss the girls a lot, really. Have a lot of fun with the girls. Tease them all day long,
And the boss says he hates to see the manual elevators fade away.
We're forced to do it because we simply can't get parts for the old elevators. These are the original elevators, the original boxes, the original motors, the original gearing, and they're simply wearing out, and it's time to replace them.
It's the end of an era in Saginaw. The manual elevator is now safely tucked away in Saginaw's past. Jay Brandow, News 5. There's going to be a lot of work to do here. The folks at the Clock Doctor shop are going to have their hands full. Falling, springing, well, you know.
Turn your clocks back an hour. Fall back, spring forward.
Okay. Now, do you bring extra help in here to switch all these clocks twice a year?
No, usually my husband does it all.
And always trying to make a sale, brother-in-law Bill thinks he's got just the timepiece for us.
Now, this cuckoo clock is what, 10, 12, 15 feet tall?
Yeah, 10 feet tall. And it's all hand carved, and it's from Germany. It's the Black Forest.
And when you hear the phrase time is money, brother-in-law Bill tells us why.
15 is the sale price right now.
15,000.
Yes.
All right.
And with an extra hour to play with, you'd think Bay City's infamous Midland Street would have the party of parties, wouldn't you?
That doesn't count at the bar. We figure everybody is pretty much done partying at about 2 o'clock, and the kids have had a long night of work, so we usually cut it off same time as normal.
You know, for most of us, turning back the clock an hour is going to be no big deal. But for other folks, turning back those hands of time is going to be a much bigger job. And not to worry either, because you'll have plenty of time for second thoughts. Jay Brandow, News 5, Bay City. Digging out from a winter storm is just part of living in beautiful mid-Michigan. But for some folks, health reasons keep them from clearing the snow themselves. And that's where the TV5 Snow Squad comes in. That is, of course, with the help of Aaron's snowblowers and Dave Wolfile.
It can be quite dangerous if you're not used to that exercise, and especially with colder weather and that physical stress, it can do something to your heart and whatever, and that's why you have to be very careful when you're doing that, and that's why a gasoline-powered snowblower will do that very easily and make life so much better.
Some of the volunteer TV5 Snow Squad members who are making it better include producer Sherry Babinski, Mike Justice from Creative Services, and news photojournalist Eric Horn. They were all helping Robert and Dee Hughes of Saginaw.
I sure appreciate it very much. Guy with all the whiskers that did all the shoveling in the back. Eric, I sure appreciated him. I appreciated all of you very much.
Sherry, Mike, and Eric all left Bob's place with a smile.
Trying to help out some folks in mid-Michigan.
I know how tough it is to clean my own driveway, so I figured these folks could use our help. So,
just out helping the folks, it's what we do.
Lori Jane didn't think anybody was watching as she tried to polish her skills on the snowblower. When it snows in mid-Michigan, it's all about neighbors helping neighbors. And we had a good time, and thanks to Dave Wolfile for his help, too.
In Saginaw, Jay Brandow, WNAM TV5.